Speedway Sedans Live, proudly produced by Ash Media Speedway Footage. Brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia, Adam Holt Industries, Campton Graphics and Signage, Cool Drive Distribution, Jules Furniture and Removalists, EB Graphics, Highline Raceway and Team Apparel, Mental Racewear, Pro One Race Parts, Speedway Sedans Queensland and Speedway Sedans Western Australia.
Set for dispatch. Away and racing on night number 2. Into turn number 1 and 2 the first time. Brad Warren in the 21 car leads them out of turn 2 and down the back straight. Into turn number 3. Coming back is Dave Clapson. Second place. Third place, Matty Smith. Noakes in fourth. Back in fifth place, the 22 car, which is Paul Egan, then Jake Torian at the back. Good battle for third and fourth between Smith and Noakes. Warren leads out of turn 4, the opening lap in 18.549, 10 laps to go. Up into turn number 1, no change in the order. So head out of turn number 2, Noakes and Smith still having a battle for third and fourth. Back then to the 22 of Paul Egan and Jake Torian back in 6th place. Is a little bit off the pace at this point in time. So head up the main straight. Brad Warren still in front. The pressure now being applied. The 77 of Dave Clapson and 23 Clint Noakes has dispensed with Matty Smith for the moment. He's now on the back end of Clapson, who's on the back end of Warren. And as I say that, here comes Smith yet again. As they move into the main straight, the four of them locked together. Back to Paul Egan. And Jake Torian rounds out the 6 still in heat number 16. Into the back straight they go. Brad Warren out in front. Warren the race leader. Second place is 77 of Dave Clapson. Right behind him is Clint Noakes from Western Australia and Matty Smith, the national champion. From the ACT it's Paul Egan, and from Tasmania it's Jake Torian. Into the back straight they go. They'll head down into turn number 3. The lap counter showing 7, it'll be 6 in a moment. Halfway home in heat 16, their final qualifying heat. And unlike last night, this one looks like going the distance without a stoppage. We only had 3 of 15 go without incident last night. Jake Torian has moved into 5th place underneath of Paul Egan, but he's a long way behind the first 4. Into the main straight, 5 to go. Warren, Clapson, Noakes, and the national champion Matty Smith. Up into turn 1 and 2. Warren by 2 car lengths on Clapson. Here comes Matty Smith having a bo peep underneath the Clint Noakes. So get to the end of the Blue Ribbon Raceway, back straight. Into the main straight, this is not over by a long shot. Smith and Noakes side by side. They cross the line almost together. 0.006 of a second between the two of them as they cross the line. They've lost a bit of ground. Here comes Clapson now. Clapson looking under Brad Warren. They'll come out of turn 4 with 3 to go. Matty Smith has slowed down. Back there in 4th place. He's got a flat tyre. So the national champion has a flat tyre. You suspect he's going to finish 5th because Paul Egan's about to retire as well. Jake Torian surely will pass him in the concluding stages. It's a race in 3 out in front. Oh, look at this one. Look at the tyres disintegrated here at Paul Egan. Up the main straight with a couple to go. 2 laps to go. It's a race in 3. Warren, Clapson and Noakes. Here comes Clapson again. Gets underneath it. Brad Warren this time. Out of turn 4 they'll come and they'll greet the white flag. Dylan Simpson hangs it out from the fence. There's 1 to run. It's Clapson, Warren and Clint Noakes. A long way back then to Jake Torian and Matty Smith with a flat tyre. Down the back straight the final time. But Dave Clapson has bided his time, took the lead on lap number 10 and will be first to the checkered flag. Dave Clapson first time, second Brad Warren, then back to Clint Noakes. Jake Torian will be 4th in car number 32 and Matty Smith will limp home in the Nissan 300 ZX for 5th. The time for the race is 3 minutes 47.886. The winning margin is 0.721 at the quick lap of the race in 18.549 by Brad Warren. He finishes 2nd behind Dave Clapson, while Clint Noakes from WA was 3rd.
All right, ladies. ladies and gentlemen, down here with Dave Clapson, our first heat winner this evening. The hard work there, Dave. You had a very, very small mistake.
Yeah, he capitalised on that pretty well, didn't he? But not going to get away with it. That was my intention. I'm just happy to get one win under my belt. That's bloody great.
Excellent, mate. Looks like it's got a lot of drive out of the corners, or is that just how I'm seeing it from where?
Made a few changes last night. It wasn't real good last night. We had a bit of a miss in the old girl, and we got that sorted now. She's running on all six, so we try and stay out of trouble and push forward. And, yeah, that'll be good.
Excellent, mate. I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the evening. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gents, now as our second heat comes out for the evening, brought to you by Horsham Auto Wreckers, we should have something like this: the V31 of Michael Hayden, and he's outside of the V14 Matty.
Into the main straight. Set for a dispatch. Owen racing. Aidan Raymond makes it, 3 wide as he snuck up the inside. Nearly one upside down. That time was Jason Gray as he leapt up onto the side of Michael Hayden. Some evasive action taken by Brad Herbert and the 62 of Tim Smith. The restart board coming out. We'll do it again. A modified sedan heat, not putting any drivers from Tasmania down, but we'll see how this unfolds. He's on pole at the moment. He's in the A main position at the moment, but he's being passed by 2. Maybe all of them. He's got dramas with the 35 car. He's gone back to second last, so I put the kibosh on that rather early. So move out of 3 and 4, the best presented car in all sorts of trouble. Tim Smith has leapt up on the back end of Matty Noakes, and we've got another stoppage coming up. Tim Smith's going nowhere. It's all happening. Back underway. It's Matt Gerlach who leads them up the main straight in front of a very good crowd up on the back there in turn number 1. Oh, and he might be okay here, Brad Herbert. He's picked up a position because Tim Smith made a total hash of turn 2, but he's back to 7th again now. Into the main straight, Gerlach, Walters, Raymond, Matt Noakes, and the 17 of Andrew Blackwell. 5 of them locked together a long way back then to Tim Smith in the skyline. And, that wheel, I'm sure, won't last 12 laps on Brad Herbert's car like that. So move into the main straight. 3 down and 9 to go. Looking into this blazing sun, beating down on the Blue Ribbon Raceway. It's Matt Gerlach by 2 car lengths on the 46 car of Kai Walters. Back in 3rd place, Aidan Raymond, a couple of car lengths back then. In 4th place is Noakes, and then Andrew Blackwell. Back then to Smith, and then in 7th place the 35 car of Brad Herbert. Down the back straight is a race in 3. Very hard to see them on the other side as they move out of turn number 4. It's Gerlach, Walters, Raymond, a gap then to Noakes, and the 17 car of Blackwell. Raymond has run extremely wide down there in turn number 2. So they've dropped off Raymond for the moment. Walters up behind Gerlach. We come to the halfway mark, 6 down and 6 to go. The margin was 0.2 of a second as they crossed last time. It's 0.3 of a second now, 0.9 of a second first to third. Back then to Matt Noakes and Blackwell. That's the first 5. Back in 6th place is Tim Smith and then Brad Herbert. So move underneath the lap counter. It's getting busy now. Walters trying to get Gerlach off the curb. Raymond right back in the equation. A couple of car lengths back to Noakes in 4th. And Blackwell sitting right behind him. Oh, we've got Smith going in the wrong direction down here. He's going the opposite way. The green lights are still on. Oh, now he's stopped on the curb. He's off the track. The green lights are still on. The yellows have come on. Second stoppage caused by Tim Smith. Green lights are back on. Well, it has paid dividends for Brad Herbert. He's going to get 6th place now with that wonky left wheel. So head down the back straight. Here comes Andrew Blackwell. I think he's got past Matt Noakes. I think I'm looking directly into the sun. So come out of turn number 4 into the main straight. Gerlach, Walters, Raymond, Blackwell and Noakes. And back into Brad Herbert. So head up into the top turn. Certainly not over by a long shot. Out in front It is Gerlach in 14. Matt Gerlach has 3 laps to go this time around. Walters, Raymond, Noakes to come back underneath of Andrew Blackwell. Up into the top turn, the battle for 4th. Matt Noakes from Western Australia back into 4th. Blackwell back to 5th. So head down the back straight here at the Blue Ribbon Raceway. They'll come out of turn 4. Into the main drag, 2 to go. Gerlach is off the curb. Walters in 2nd place. Aidan Raymond right behind him, then Andrew Blackwell and Matt Noakes. A race for 1st, a race for 4th. As they head down the back straight, as that sun almost goes behind the cloud, the white flag is coming out. 1 to go, big finish coming up. Matt Gerlach just in front. Kai Walters right behind him along with Aidan Raymond. Couple of car lengths to Andrew Blackwell and Matt Noakes. Up the top turn they go. Gerlach has led from the outset. Back in 2nd place, Kai Walters, then Aidan Raymond. A last-ditched effort here. They come out at 3 and 4. Gerlach just in front. Walters down low, won't quite get him, and Gerlach wins. Walters 2nd, Raymond, Blackwell and Matt Noakes. And back then to Brad Herbert in 6th place. No time for the race due to the stoppages. 0.392 the winning margin, the quick lap, and 18.324 by Kai Walters, who was 2nd behind Matt Gerlach. Aidan Raymond was 3rd in heat number 17.
Matt Gerlach in the Octane Alley Performance Australian title in the Octane Alley Performance Commodore. Nice way to finish off your last heat for the evening.
Yeah, I think Roscoe kind of got sick last night. He dragged his seat out, ready to put his seat in and have a real go. So it's not a bit of a figure out of it.
Now, you've done a little bit of work on this car, is that correct?
Yeah, we've spent a few years with Ross and Jane tinkering away and just trying to make the thing go around. It's got a bucket of horsepower and that makes it quite hard to get it down to the ground and you've got to be pretty patient. But yeah, we're ironing the bugs out and hopefully this has got us into the back of the A because there's no way you'll get from the back of the B into the A, I don't think, on this track.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, but I'll let you get back and get organised for the rest of the evening. You never know what might happen.
All about set to go. Heat number 18. Big field of this one. Away and racing. And Jeff Lay on the outside takes the lead as they head up in turn number 2. What a traffic jam there is there. 3rd place is Alan Mortimer. Trevor Mills up on the outside. In there also is the 7 of Justin Drew. Down low is Rachel Pratt as they move out of turn 4. Martin Horson's in there. Ty Galley. So head down into turn 1 and 2. Lay your leader. 2nd place is Wade McCarthy. Mortimer is 4th now as Mills has moved to 3rd. On the outside of Mortimer is car number 7 of Justin Drew. Martin Horson right there. This is a traffic jam of national proportions as they head down the main straight. David Head right back in the field at the moment and he needs to get some big points in this one. Mills and Drew, 2 national champions in 2 different categories, running 3rd and 4th. Mortimer there, underneath of him goes Marty Horson. Horson runs wide, Mortimer back to 5th. Ty Galley in 7th place. Tim Atkin low on the track, Rachel Pratt. They're 3 wide further back, along with Brodie Christie. Blackburn has spun down in turn number 1. He gets out of harm's way, the green lights remain on. Lay out in front, McCarthy in 2nd place. 3rd place is Trevor Mills, then Justin Drew. Martin Horson 5th, Ty Galley on the inside of Alan Mortimer. Mortimer's got more company from Atkin, also Christie, Rachel Pratt. Our race leader has split the scene. Out in front, Jeff Lay. McCarthy, Mills and Drew are close in proximity, running 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Back then to Martin Horson in 5th. So move into the main straight yet again. Our race leader is Lay, McCarthy, Mills and Drew, as they have been throughout the last 3 laps, running pretty close together. Then Martin Horson, Ty Galley, then Atkin. Underneath of Atkin is Brodie Christie. Christie gets it done at this point in time. Atkin persists on the outside. Meanwhile, Justin Drew comes back underneath of the 10 car of Trevor Mills. Tremendous racing from Mills and Drew. Drew gets into third now. Mills back to fourth. And joining the pair is the 72 of Martin Hawson. Jeff Lay has 4 laps to go. Back then to McCarthy in second. Drew Hawson has got underneath of Trevor Mills pretty quickly. There's a 3-way go further back after that between Atkin Christie and Ty Galley as they move out of turn 4 yet again. It's Lay who has 3 laps remaining. Second place, the 26 of McCarthy. Third place, Justin Drew. Then back to Hawson, Trevor Mills, Christie, Atkin, Galley. Oh, Tangle's head. Oh, Tangle's head. David Head has hit the fence pretty heavily here in the main straight, and there's all sorts of debris. There's parts hanging off the car. He's moving around. He's okay, but it has hit the gate pretty heavily down here, and I think the gate might be stuck for the moment, but David is moving around in the car. The bumper has ripped off the front of the XF, and we've got a red light situation right here in front of us in the main straight. We've got the bumper picked up pretty quickly, but you can see the bar work which has snapped off the car. David Head was in 28th position on points. Tow truck is backing up. Officials there with him. David Head's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about putting your hands together for Tangles? So he has a quick bow peep at the front of his car. He's not happy. So red lights are on, and we've got a bit of cleaning up to do here in the main straight. The gate is being inspected. That got hit pretty heavily here. As we have a look at a replay. So big story there for Tim Atkin. He was at 12th on points prior to this. Green lights come on, they're away with 3 to go. Down into turn 1 and 2 they go. And out in front it's car number 11 of Jeff Lay. They head down the back straight, and Lay has a good lead, well, a couple of car lengths lead on McCarthy, who comes quickly. Right there also is Drew, Hawson, Mills, and Brodie Christie all of a sudden coming to the picture. Up into the main straight they go. There'll be 1.5 laps left to run. Lay still out in front from McCarthy. Drew in third place, Hawson, and Trevor Mills under pressure from Brodie Christie. The white flag comes out. Mortimer's spun up in turn number 2. Gets mobile now. He'll be right in front of the leaders. They head out of turn 2 and down the back straight the final time. Lay, McCarthy, Drew, Hawson, and Brodie Christie. That's the order, probably the way they're going to finish. Lay first across the line, McCarthy, Drew, Hawson is next, Brodie Christie, Trevor Mills, Ty Galley. The margin between Mills and Galley was 6 1/1000ths of a second. Back to Rachel Pratt and Shannon Blackburn and Alan Mortimer. No time for the race due to a couple of stoppages. 0.919 the winning margin. The fast lap was by Jeff Lay in 18.470. He defeats Wade McCarthy and Justin Drew in heat 18.
How on earth do you stay tuned in with that stoppage when you're out in front? You obviously weren't privy to all the excitement happening behind you, but how did you stay switched on for those last couple of laps?
Try and stay focused and keep your eye on the prize, really. We're all trying to be professional, and yeah, it's hard work, but definitely try and stay focused and not worry about the other shit.
You look like a fairly busy day in the office there for you. The car, are you happy with it thus far? Or it had a nice drive out of this Horsham turn, but that's what it looked like to me. How did it feel like to you?
Yeah, no, it's getting around really good, actually. We've worked very hard on it. Obviously, like a lot of other guys, we chased it a little bit all weekend. It could be nicer, but you know what? We've got the win, and we'll move forward again from it. So, yeah, we're very, very pleased with the package we have at the moment.
Excellent, well done. I'll let you head back to get your setup organised, and I'll start on our next heat draw. Okay, so we should have, brought to you by Norton Motor Group, the modified sedans heat number 19. For those of you playing along at home, Taylor Dolick will be a scratching. Jerry Flood, then we have Brodie Boss.
Field of 10, Dylan Simpson downstairs with the green flag, about to wave it for the second last time in heat racing, maybe, if we have no stoppages. Jerry Flood, the veteran of the field, on pole. The 24 car from Lismore will lead them with Brody Boss up the main straight the first time. Up into turn number 1, also they're 3 and 4 wide. Brock Atkins gets underneath the Flood. Simpson moves to the outside, so head down the back straight. Then Mark Sheen is next. It's a literal traffic jam at the moment. Well, Jerry Flood and Simpson, they're 3 wide, 4 wide into the main straight. AC Delco 51 car of Nick Cockrell got a dream run through underneath about 3 or 4 cars there. Jason Beer gets underneath the Cockrell. Jerry Flood fights back. Cockrell into the fence along with 111. It's all happening further back as our race leader is Brody Boss. Second place, the 4 car of Brock Atkins. Back to Nelson, Sheen and Beer. That's the first 5. It was a little bit rough and rugged further back after that. The 75 is Shane Murphy, Daniel Simpson, then Peter White. Jerry Flood finds himself on the infield with the 51 of Cockrell going around the outside. Down the main straight, our race leader is Brody Boss and Brock Atkins out after him. Brody Boss, a former Queensland champion, if I can get it out. Second place in the 4 car of Brock Atkins. Third on points after night number 1, but he doesn't want to finish third. Down the main straight he comes. Underneath the Brody Boss into the top turn and takes the lead. So Brock Atkins won 2 heats last night. Can Brody Boss fight back? Back then to Matt Nelson in third place, then Mark Sheen. Jason Beer leads the main body of the field with Murphy behind him, and then Daniel Simpson. Into the main straight, Atkins, Boss, Nelson, Sheen, Beer, Murphy on the inside of Beer. Jason Boss coming back, Brody Boss coming back at Brock Atkins. They move into turn 3. Out of turn 4 they come underneath the lap counter. 6 down and 6 to go. Atkins, Boss, Nelson. Back then to Sheen in 4th. Murphy and Simpson and Beer. Back end hanging off the white car. It's also smoking. Back then to Cockrell and Jerry Flood. Starting to spread themselves out. Atkins leads by a second back to Nelson, 2 seconds back to Sheen. So head down the back straight of the Blue Ribbon Raceway with that magnificent sunset in the background. Out of 3 and 4 they come with 4 to go. Atkins out in front, 8 down. Boss in second, Nelson third. The battle is for 4th. Sheen, Murphy and Simpson. A gap back to Beer, White, and then the 51 car following them through. Passing flag coming out to Jerry Flood, is about to be lapped by Brock Atkins, the former national junior champion. Back to Boss, Nelson. This battle's still for 4th. Sheen, Murphy and Simpson. Up into turn 1 they go. Sheen just ahead of Murphy and Simpson. Murphy looking to get underneath of Sheen. Out of turn 2 he does. Murphy does get under Sheen. They're side by side. He moves to 4th. The race leader has 2 to go. Atkins, Boss, he gets underneath of Jerry Flood. Back then to Matt Nelson in 3rd place. Murphy, then Simpson and Sheen. That's the battle, 3rd, 4th and 5th. 4th, 5th and 6th. White flag comes out, 1 to go. Brock Atkins might find himself starting on pole in the national final with this victory if something would be to happen to Aidan Raymond, but Raymond had a pretty good result, so he's going to be maybe on the front row. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but the checkered flag is out. Brock Atkins first, Boss second, Nelson third. 4th place is Simpson, Murphy and Sheen, Beer, White and Cockrell. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Cam Waters' heat. Unless Cam Waters wins that heat, Brock Atkins will find himself on the front row of the national final. That's what the equation will be. He's won 3 of his 4. He defeats Brody Boss and Matt Nelson. That was heat 19. The time was the quickest of the weekend. 3 minutes, 44.649.
Down here with heat 19 winner Brock Atkins. Brock, what a blinder of a start.
Yeah, sort of thought the start was everything there, like starting that far back in the pack. This track sort of me out. It looks slick, but it actually has more drive in it now than it did last night. So
it's keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. I just want to thank, obviously, Mum, Dad, Todd, Shona, everyone else who helps out, all the sponsors on the car, Tritech Lubricants, Higgs Contracting, Shane Wilson Competition Engines, DC and TM Auto Alex, Norton Motor Group, Atkins Auto Works, Iron J Speedway Equipment, Down Under Graphics, All Star Graphics, yeah, everyone who helps out and puts their bit in, it all helps. So yeah, thank you.
Now, all barring a cataclysmic event, it looks like you're going to qualify well for now an Australian national title. You're going to go back and get yourself in the zone, a few tunes, or are you going to get involved with the car and getting it set up, ready to go? What are you going to do to get mindset ready to start that final?
Yeah, we'll probably start looking at what we're going to do for the feature and just keep an eye on the track, I think, because it seems to change when the sun goes down, the moisture, and when the dew comes in, the track seems to come back. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and just see what happens.
Awesome, mate. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. I'll let you get back to your pit bay.
So we've got a ripper here. Here is the final qualifying heat, ladies and gentlemen. We are away. 12 laps is the journey. And up into turn number 1, David Smith and Greg Walling, 2 former national champions. Out in front, here's Kai Walters on the outside as they move into turn number, Peter Walters in car number 45, and right there with him is Graham West. So move up the main straight, the little Tirana having a red hot go. It's David Smith in front from Walling. Here comes a Tirana again of Westy. Peter Walters in 4th place. Back to Russell Bent, and here comes the 5. Oh, he come in right a notch, did Robbie Foe, and a multi-car bottom. And how did he get through? How did Graham Gerlach get between Bunton and the... Set for a start. David Smith won this event in 2012 in Mildura, so around the cone. First time on this restart. Back in 2nd place, Walling, Walters and West. Back in 5th place is Russell Bent, Bunton, Waters. So move out of 3 and 4. Into the main straight they come. Smith just in front of Walling, Walters and West. The head down the back straight, David Smith, 19th on points at the moment. This will probably put him in the A main. So move into the main straight, Walling. West comes back under Walters. The little LJ Tirana moves into 3rd place. Back in 5th place, Cam Waters. And back in 6th is Russell Bent and Aaron Bunton. Back after that is the 65 of John Murphy, then Robbie Foe and Gerlach at the tail. 8 laps to go in the final qualifying heat here in the Blue Ribbon Raceway. Up the main straight, Cam Waters gets underneath the Walters, moves into 4th. Waters started at the back of the field. He's now up to 4th. He has to win the race to start on the front row. 3 laps to go. Smith, Walling, the 56 of West. West all over the back end of Greg Walling. Cam Waters in 4th place. Then back to Peter Walters in 5th. Down the back straight of the Blue Ribbon Raceway. There'll be 6 down and 6 to go. Our race leader is Smith from Walling. West still trying to get past Walling. Cam Waters trying to get past the pair of them. Back then to Peter Walters in 5th place. 5 laps remaining in the final qualifying heat. Smith up in the main straight, leads by 1.1 seconds. Walling and West still having this great battle for 2nd and 3rd. Back in 4th place it's Cam Waters as they move out of turn 3 and 4 to complete another lap. There'll be 8 laps down and 4 laps to go. So move out of turn number 1 and 2. West still trying to get past Walling. Can't do so. They move up into the top turn, out of 3 and 4. 3 to go. David Smith still out in front. So move down the main straight. 2nd place is Greg Walling. Graham West cannot get that car of Walling's off the Peter Waters in fourth, Walters in fifth, and then back to Russell Bent. 2 laps to go in the final qualifying heat. The battle is on in earnest for second, third and fourth. They move up the main straight here in the Blue Ribbon Raceway. Here comes West again. He gets under Walling this time. Gets into second place. Walling will try and fight back. 1.5 laps left to go. Back to Cam Waters. The white flag comes out. There's 1 to run in the final qualifier. David Smith out in front. The lap car of Gerlach. Second place is West. Back then to Walling. Fourth place is Cam Waters. West is off the curb up there. Walling tries to come underneath. There's a lap car to negotiate. Here's the checkered flag coming out. And David Smith, the former national champion, wins heat number 20. Second place, a run to the line. Walling won't quite get there. Graham West second, Walling third. Fourth place, Cam Waters. Then back to Peter Walters. Sixth place will be Russell Bent, then Aaron Bunton. John Murphy. Robbie Foe has spun on the last lap, hasn't completed the race yet. And the time for the race, there isn't one due to the stoppages. 3 seconds was the winning margin, 3.080 to be exact. Cam Waters in fourth had the quick lap of the race in 18.181, but it was David Smith, the winner from Graham West, Greg Walling, and then Cam Waters in heat number 20. Our final qualifying heat of the night will have all the points for you very soon. It now gets busy up here in race control.
Down here with our final heat winner for this evening, David Smith. Nice way to finish off the heats this evening with a win. You look a bit, mate.
Yeah, it was a pretty hard race. I didn't know where everyone else was, so I just thought I'd stick on the bottom. We needed the points after last night's last heat. Had a DNF, so hopefully that's enough to scrape some.
That'll be excellent. Now, from one race driver to another, I know it's almost impossible to get on the track without the assistance of our sponsors. So while I've got you, possibly a good opportunity to give a few people a bit of a thanks.
Yeah, first of all, thank Russell Brown, Gary Cramp for the car. They get it ready, they do all the work, so thanks for that. All the boys that helped us in the pits this week, EWS for the shocks, Repco Mildura, probably there's Andrew Blackwell helps us out, so yeah, it's good.
No worries, mate, I'll let you go. Go back and get yourself in the headspace ready for the rest of the evening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like I've got some junior sedans making their way back to the track.